Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our weekly show. Apologize for the late start, but here we are. Today we are talking about self-discovery journey. Why is it important to know who you are? And why do you need to go on a self-discovery journey? Good afternoon and welcome to Dating Smart and Relationship Advice Show with your host, Rosemary Mpamba. I am live from my home office here in the OK Falls, and I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to spring, and how are you? And welcome to my sisters. Oh my goodness, these are my pros. They are always watching. Thank you so much. And go ahead and put your comments and your questions in the comment section. For those that don't know me, my name is Rosemary Mpambwa. I'm a relationship coach. I'm also a retreat leader, an author, and I've had my work published in um, publications, major publications like ABC, NBC, and Fox News and USA Today. I've had my books published on Amazon. And today we are here talking about why do a self-discovery journey. And I usually do this when I do my relationship coaching and mostly on retreats because we have time to dig deep, right? So I have some questions that I want to ask you. Do you sometimes wonder who you really are? You sit and you're confused, or you have things that are going on in your life and you're asking yourself, who am I really? Who am I? And do you feel that you're constantly adapting yourself to suit the needs of others in situations, in work, in family situations, or everywhere you go, in a city, in an organization, you always try to adapt to fit into other people's cultures or other people's behaviors? Do you ever struggle with that? Do you have multiple conflicting roles in life that leave you feeling confused, or you're always compromising? You feel that you always compromise wherever you go. You are the one that has to give in into other people's needs. Do you feel that you are not relating to others as effectively as you would want? You try to explain things to people. People ask you, who are you? Who is Rosemary Mpambo? Who are you behind the scenes? Um, without being a coach, without being a retreat leader, without being a mom. Who am I? Who is Rosemary? Who is that? Right? We live in a complicated world that seems to expect us to be lots of different things. And all at the same time, I'm expected to be a mom, to be a wife, to be a coach, to be a retreat leader, to be a prayer warrior, and to be a citizen of Canada. Very rarely we are called just to be ourselves. Yet, strangely, when we see that in others, you envy and you applaud other people. You're like, wow, she's very confident. She knows who she is and she knows what she wants in life. Because if you don't know who you are in life, you really don't know what you want to do in life. And you don't know what you stand for, right? So we applaud them. And then this is what we call things like individuality, charisma. Oh, she is such a charismatic person. Oh, and she's such an inspirational leader. Why is she an inspiration to you? Because she knows who she is. Why does he or she have lots of charisma? Because she knows who she is, or he knows who he is. Right. So why is it true that individuality in others seems inspiring to you, yet individuality to you can seem very impossible? It's because you are always looking at pleasing others, making other people happy. But you never take time to make yourself happy, right? You never take time to make yourself happy. Right. But when time comes that you are faced with situations in life, for example, you have to make a decision either to leave your kids and go abroad to work, or you have to make a decision whether you want to start dating or not. Are you going to start consulting other people, right? Do you think this is the right time for me to start dating? Or do you think this is the right time for me to start looking for another job? You're always looking for approval from other people. You never make your own decision, right? When you don't know who you are and what you stand for, right? You are always looking for approval from other people. And this is why a lot of people suffer from self-doubt. They have so many self-limiting beliefs. They practice a lot of self-sabotage because they just don't know how to be themselves. They don't know who they are, and they don't know what they want, right? In childhood, the emphasis was put on us in knowing things and accumulating knowledge about the world, but we were never told to accumulate knowledge about yourself, right? We were taught to pass exams in school, and we were taught to get very good grades. We were taught to get a job. We were also taught to get married and to have children, but nobody sat down with us to teach us who we are. Hmm? Ask me, who is Rosemary? Has anybody ever asked you, or have you ever asked yourself, who am I and what do I stand for? So, knowing and understanding yourself is not a subject that gets examined in schools, right? No exam is ever set up to ask you who you are. And it may not heavily sit on your mind. But whilst growing up, I'm sure there's times that you always think, where am I going with my life? And I remember when I was growing up, my mom and dad always asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do when you grow up? And I think this is just the question that every one of us has been asked by your parents or your elders. What do you want to do, right, when you grow up? But as adults, we do not live to live it. As adults, we do not need to leave it to chance, right? Or to take responsibility later in life about finding who we are. You need to start doing it today, because this is your personal responsibility. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you want in life, and you need to understand yourself, because once you know who you are, once you understand yourself, you'll be able to make decisions for yourself without having to consult other people all the time, without having to be a people pleaser every time, so that you can try and fit into situations. Knowing yourself, not knowing yourself, has broad implications for how you live your life and relate to others. Because if you don't know yourself, you are going to be a person who has no grounding and no footing. You're always changing, you're always shifting like the wind or the tree. When somebody comes with this idea, you go that way. When somebody says, no, 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 that's not very good, you go this way. And then when somebody says, how can you do that? And then you are starting to jump from one place to the other. It's because you don't know who you are. I have seen also a lot of people in relationships, they are always in and out of relationships because they really don't know what they want and who they are. And they don't know even how to settle in a job. they are always either getting fired, or they are always changing jobs, or even living in places. They are always either being evicted, not because they can't pay their rent, but it's just because they just feel they don't belong there. And then they just do, all these self-sabotage behaviors, that they find themselves, either losing their home, or they are always moving from one place to the other. They go to the east, they are like, oh no, I'm tired of this, and I don't think this is good for me. And then they go to the west, and then they are like, this is not good for me either. And then they move to the north. It's like they are always constantly changing, right? And if you are a parent who doesn't know who you are, what do you expect your kids to learn from you? And how are you going to teach your kids to know who they are if you don't know who you are? Once you know who you are, it's going to help you to create good relationships in the world, and it's also going to help you to make good career decisions, even healthy relationships. You will get to create them because you know what you want, and you know exactly what you are looking for, right? If you don't know, if you don't understand yourself, let me read this to you. If you don't know and understand yourself, you will not be able to take care of yourself. Without being in touch with yourself, you will not be able to truly get in touch with others. Without understanding yourself, you will not be able to understand and relate to others effectively. A true relationship with yourself is necessary for a true relationship with others. If you can blow away the fog of confusion that gets in the way of you seeing yourself as you really are, you will be able to see others emerging from the mist more clearly too, right? So we are designed to be in a community, to live in tribes, to live in groups, right? We are social beings. But if you don't know who you are, how are you going to fit in certain social circles, right? You have to make this decision to know exactly who you are. Because if you don't, then who is going to know you? This is why you find that there's people that belong to all these gangs or cows or movements, but when you ask them, really, what are you doing in that movement or in that gang? They are like, oh, my friend introduced me to them. Okay, your friend. What about you? What are you doing in there? You know, they don't know what they are doing in that particular group of people because they were told by somebody else that it's good. So it's like you're always following other people's behaviors and ideas and suggestions and decisions. You can never make your own decisions in life. And this will also affect you as you get older. And as you start looking for love, uh, now, what kind of a husband are you going to be looking for? If you don't know who you are, what kind of a man are you going to look for? And if you are a man, what kind of a woman are you going to look for? Right? And it goes both ways. If you don't know who you are, then what kind of a job are you going to look for? Right? What kind of religion are you going to follow? What kind of spirituality are you going to belong to or practice? Because you just don't know who you are. This is why you find people will be taking advantage of you everywhere you go, because you don't know who you are and you don't know how to say no and mean it. Because once you are able to know who you are, this is going to boost your self-confidence. This is also going to boost your self-esteem. Your self-worth will shoot the roof, and you'll be able to say no and mean it. Right. So thank you so much. And I hope you found value today in this episode of why do the self-discovery journey. And if you come to the retreat, this is going to be one of the topics that we are going to be talking about, because we are going to go deep, and we are also going to have almost an hour or an hour and a half to do this, because it's a very important part of your life. You need to know who you are. And this is going to help you in all areas of your life. So thank you so much for joining me. You have a wonderful day. And remember, know who you are. Bye-bye for now.